Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome back to the Marketing of the Minds podcast, powered by Arcane Marketing, where we use innovative marketing solutions for growth-ready companies. We're excited to have you back with us yet again for another powerful episode of Marketing of the Minds for sure, and trying to leverage and figure out how do we best utilize digital media to reach our customers, connect more effectively, and help sell products and services to grow business. I'm your host, Ryan Harris, co-founder and chief innovation officer here at Arcane Marketing. And in today's episode, my friend, Mr. Chad Russell, is going to talk to us about local SEO. He's going to share with us tips, tricks, understandings, and strategies of how do you best leverage a local SEO for your business so that people that are searching for you in a local demographic can find you more effectively. So, Chad, I'm going to turn the time over to you, my friend.
All right. Right on. Thank you, sir. Local SEO. So I've been doing internet marketing for almost 9 years now. And where I really started to specialize in my marketing skills is in local SEO. And when I had started, back, 8 years ago, we were running on Google Places. And since Google Places all the way till now, Google My Business, a lot has changed. And local SEO as a whole has really evolved into a major driver for online marketing and the successes in those online marketing efforts by local businesses all over the world. A lot of the things that existed back in the day of Google Places still kind of work. A lot of the strategies and stuff still kind of work, but there's a lot of newer stuff that you need to be aware of as time's gone on and search engines have gotten better at what they do. And so the idea of this podcast here is just kind of give you an idea of why local SEO is important for local businesses, and just kind of give you an idea of, why it's important, what it is exactly, and then some tools that you can use to help you market your business more effectively. So anyway, local SEO, as opposed to regular SEO, is the marketing and the promotion of your brick and mortar store. Or you don't have to be brick and mortar. You can be a service area business as well. But marketing yourself in Google search and other search engines in your local area. So, a local business obviously is not Amazon. It's not any of these big e-commerce websites or businesses that service the country or service the world. Walmart, their individual locations can be local, use local SEO to help those out, even though Walmart is a global company. But the idea is to market your business that's serving your local town, region, or geographic area in and around you where you're going to serve your customers. And so if you've gone back a few episodes, we had talked about Google My Business. And of course, Google My Business is the number one most important element of a local SEO strategy. Of course, most people use Google. And of course, the local SEO that you do in Google and Google My Business helps you out with being found on Google. So I'm going to share my screen and just go over a few things with you and then kind of get a little bit further than that. If you have any questions, feel free to chime in. And I'll do my best to answer those. And so I think mostly we have the Arcane team in here, and that's okay. We'll be posting this video up on YouTube and in our website as well. So I'm going to share my screen with you. And good. We should all be seeing that. All right. So, of course, we talked about Google My Business a few episodes back, and Google My Business is what influences your knowledge panel here when someone does a search for you. If they do a direct search for you, or if they're doing a regular search in town. We'll just go into like Plumbers, Idaho Falls. So local SEO is meant to provide results for local business in and around the area. If somebody is doing a search for you or the services or products that you sell, And of course, this is all the local stuff. This is the big Google 3-pack that everybody strives to be number one in. And then, of course, we have localized organic results here. And so these organic results underneath the 3-pack, they're influenced by many things, but they can be local oriented. And this is really where a lot of the local SEO that you do comes into play. So local SEO and using Google My Business affects this map, the 3-pack up here, and it's usually one of the first things that you see in a Google search when you're doing a local oriented search. But these other listings underneath here, the 10 organic underneath that, I kind of want to get into those because while it's always nice to try to get your business or your client's businesses ranking number 1, 2, 3 in Google Maps here, it depends on how competitive your business is, how well your regular SEO has been performing, and a lot of other factors that you're fighting against here. And a lot of times we've got clients and we've got businesses who kind of discount all these other rankings underneath here that still get a lot of click-through actions on them when people are doing searches. So you'll see here, there's for plumbers, there's Home Advisor, there's Yelp, Angie's List, Yellow Pages, and a couple others. Of course, Facebook's in there. And so those are local listings. And so that's something that you'll hear a lot in the marketing world is local listings or local listing or local directories, local listing directories, local verticals. They all mean the same thing. There's other places, other websites, and other organizations where you can put your business information into to help people find you in Google search. That if you're not just relying on the local 3-pack here. And so local SEO, it's incredibly important to get your business information into all of these other local listings that are available to get into so that you increase the instances and increase the amount of times that your business and your services can be found. So we're not just talking about Google only here. We're talking about all the other services that you can go into. Of course, Bing, the search engine, has Bing Places for Business. Yahoo used to have Yahoo Local until they pretty much lost all their share in the search world. But nonetheless, there's all these other local listings that it's a good idea to rank or to put your business into because they rank well. Home Advisor is a highly ranked website, as is Angie's List, Yellow Pages, and Yelp, and of course your Facebook page. All of that stuff needs to be, filled out. You need to claim as many of those listings as you can. Now, remember, Google's the number one search engine because Google's really good at returning search results based on the query of the user, depending on what that query is. And so Google takes the information that you provide Google in Google Maps and in Google My Business, as well as other places on the internet, right? Google searches Home Advisor, Google searches and indexes Yelp, Google searches and indexes Angie's List, Yellow Pages, and so forth. And so what Google's doing when they go and index all these places and these other websites that have your business information in is Google wants to make sure that your information is accurate. Your business name, your phone number, your address, the category, the categorization that your business falls into. In this case, plumbers, heating, repair, drain cleaning, stuff like that. And Google takes that information and looks at it and says, hey, does this match up with what we're showing in Google Maps or Google My Business? Remember, Google is the number one search engine because Google does its best to be as accurate as possible. And the more accurate that Google is, the more times we're all going to use Google again and again to make our searches and find answers to the questions we're asking, right? So Google will go through a lot of these these local listing directories and say, hey, does this information match up? If you have moved your office somewhere else or changed your phone number and all your old listings haven't been updated with new phone numbers and new addresses, Google will see all those old listings out there with the old information and then see the updated information that you put in your Google My Business listing and say, hey, what we have here in Google My Business is different than what's out there. And there's 18 different listings out there that have this old address and they're all the same, but ours is wrong. Google will take it upon themselves to update your address or your phone number or whatever else to whatever it used to be, because that's where Google is seeing everywhere else, right? And so it's incredibly important in local SEO to keep all of your local listings and all of the local information that you've been building over the years accurate, consistent, in the same way throughout, right? So That's one of the biggest things about local SEO, that really one of the biggest ranking factors to local SEO there is. Keeping your, we call it NAP, name, address, phone number, and of course categories as well. Keeping that all consistent throughout all the local listings that you have. It doesn't really provide a huge ranking boost for you, but it certainly provides an accurate listing for people. The last thing you want is for Google to update to an old phone number that might be disconnected, or an old address where, especially if you're a business where people have to come to you to get serviced. You don't want the wrong information out there. So if anything, keeping accurate information everywhere else is going to keep your information accurate in Google My Business and Google Maps, so that it'll make it easier for your customers to get a hold of you or find you, right? Now, of course, regular SEO plays into it, making sure that your website's got a good backlink profile, getting consistently good links from a variety of related websites and stuff like that. That's good. Optimized landing pages for keywords that you're trying to rank for. Of course, if you're a local business, you need to have local optimized landing pages in your website with your regular SEO. But it's especially important for local SEO. If somebody's looking for a plumber in Idaho Falls or a roofer in St. George, Utah, your website needs to be optimized with those particular keywords, because that's what's going to help Google understand your relevance and your authority when deciding where you're going to rank in Google Maps. But like I say, going back, it's those local listings, those other additional local listings that can be used to put your business information into. Keeping those as consistent as possible is incredibly important. Now, all of these listings you can go to, you can visit, you can sign up for an account, put in your business information, and that's great. That's something that we do all the time here at Arcane Marketing. But if you're a business that has multiple locations, a lot of franchises have multiple locations all over the place. If you're dealing with 10 listings or 10 locations or 15 locations, 100 locations, going out and filling out a merchant circle, a local listing for 100 different locations, that's very, very time consuming. Same thing if we're trying to get into as many local listings as possible just for Arcane Marketing. There's dozens and dozens, hundreds of local listing directories that we can get put into, and going one by one through those is very time consuming. So there are tools that you can use to help you out with that. And there's 3 tools in particular that I'm going to briefly go over and kind of show you what they do, why they do what they do, and why they're important to use. So one of the first ones is going to be called BrightLocal. BrightLocal it's an aggregation tool. Basically, you put your local listing information into there, you sign up for an account, and it syndicates all of your information out to a lot of different listing verticals. So for instance, we're here in BrightLocal, and we've got all these citations set up, and I'll get back to citations in just a moment. But we have our information being syndicated out to LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Google, SlideShare, Foursquare, Yelp, BBB, Crunchbase, MapQuest, Yahoo. And what's really cool about these tools like BrightLocal or MozLocal, which I'll go over next, these will help you manage all of your local listings that you're putting your business into. One thing that you want to avoid when building local listings is having duplicate listings out there. And a duplicate listing is, let's say in Yelp, we have like Arcane Marketing in Yelp, but for some reason we have an old listing that maybe an old employee created a long time ago with old information in it. Now in the same service at Yelp, we might have 2 different Arcane Marketing listings. And so when Google comes and crawls Yelp and indexes those 2 pages, Google's going to say, well, we got 2 different listings. There might be 2 different sets of information in them. Which ones do I use? Well, we want, we want control over that, not Google. So we're going to want to go through and get rid of any duplicate listings that might be old, that might be not used anymore, that might have been forgotten. Get rid of those and update the correct listing. But depending on how long you've been doing this, it can be a lot of work trying to find those duplicate listings. What's really cool about BrightLocal and MozLocal is these tools will find those for you, and you can correct those listings directly from these tools. These tools will send out information to Yelp or Yext or sorry, not Yext, but Yelp or Yellow Pages or BBB and say, hey, we have been notified that this is a duplicate listing by us, the user, and to shut it down. And a lot of times these businesses will honor those requests by these tools that we use, because these are paid tools. They're not super expensive, but they are very helpful to use. So Anyway, BrightLocal will tell you, the citation value. So let me tell you what a citation is. A citation is any time your business or the information about your business, especially the contact information, has been mentioned somewhere on the internet. It might not be a direct link back to your website or back to your listings or anything, but it's anytime you've been mentioned somewhere. And a mention is exactly that. If the name Arcane Marketing has been written somewhere and indexed somewhere else other than our own website, we call that a citation. Somebody has cited us somewhere, right? And it's the same thing if someone puts our phone number or if they put our address somewhere. Google knows that somebody's made a citation to us. And the more of those citations that exist in the internet, the more relevance you have. Not even that, the more branding that you have, the more clout that you have. And as those add up over time, then you're going to be more of a legitimate business in Google's eyes, and you're going to be much more separated than the tons of spam that gets put out into Google Maps on a daily basis. So citations are a good thing. It's always good to get your business information into these websites that mention your brand name. YouTube does, LinkedIn does, Facebook does, just for the simple fact that we own business listings in those, right? So these tools here will help you go and search these areas where you can get good citations, good high value citations, and we can submit our information into those directories. And then we can use this tool to go through and correct any incorrect information. So it's a really good idea that if you want to get your business into as many local listing directories as possible and correct citations that might be wrong in other websites, BrightLocal is a good way to do that. And there's a ton of different information. There's a ton of different features that BrightLocal has. One of the cool ones is the citation builder. This will allow you to submit your information. You can get 25 manual submissions for $75 to get sent out and say, hey, I want my citations to show up in maybe these data aggregators such as Infogroup, Newstar, Factual, or Foursquare, or they'll put them into some different places. It's kind of like link building a little bit, right? But it's building citations instead. It's building mentions of your business. Also through here, this tool, it can give you an audit. You can audit your local search of your websites and your marketing. Say, hey, how do I look? How is my local SEO? How is it faring right now, right? So you can use some pretty cool options in these tools to help you improve your local SEO. And I would definitely look into these because I'm thinking more, and I'm seeing this more and more of these local listing directories that you can submit your business information into. More and more are becoming paid because they are ripe for spam. A lot of businesses will go out there and create multiple listings with different variations of the business name in hopes that, or using different keywords in the hopes that a business location will show up for all sorts of different searches out there. And so I'm just seeing a lot more of these directories becoming paid directories. And I'm seeing BrightLocal and MozLocal and Yext becoming more and more of an important tool because these are going to be tools that are more trusted with all these local listing directories as time goes on, because these are subscription-based tools and they do set up partnerships with these local listing verticals so that they know that they can trust one another. So if you purchase a subscription with Moz or with BrightLocal and it syndicates your information out to all these other local listing verticals that are out there, they're going to recognize that as more legitimate than the free account that you can set up. So I would definitely look into these. I forget what the pricing for BrightLocal is. I think Nate's in here. Do you know what the pricing is there on BrightLocal? I'll get in here in a second if you answer that. But the one that I use a lot, and the one that we use here at Arcane Marketing quite a bit, is MozLocal. MozLocal is a relatively inexpensive tool to use. It does the same thing that BrightLocal does. It submits your business information to all these different listing verticals, and there's a few others that it goes into that are in addition to this. For some reason, we don't have one set up for Arcane Marketing, but I'll show you how that works. Let's see here. Nobody said anything. That's all right. So anyway, yeah. for our business, you can get if you are for Arcane Marketing, you can get a free check to see how you look, how you fare in a lot of these, and it says, oh, in US Info, our listing isn't found. In here, TomTom, this Moz Local updates GPS like TomTom. Uber's app, it'll update with our information. So especially if you're a business that has customers coming to the business at all times and people use Uber, Moz Local will update Uber's databases with your business information, so it's easier for people to find you, or Uber drivers to find your business and navigate to you. So it's as easy as that. Improve with MozLocal.com. You click a button. Moz Local is $129 a year for the basic listing, which is fine. The complete listings, the listing plus, I haven't really used those before. I found that the regular Moz Local subscription is pretty much just fine for what you use. I'd probably go up for the more expensive one if you're a really, if you're more of a bigger, medium-sized business, if you got a bunch of locations, if you have a bunch of products that you're selling, if you're running an online store in addition to your brick and mortar store, those might be more along the lines of what you need. But yeah, this is it's really easy to set up. I'm going to go ahead and do it real quick because we should have it set up and we don't. I'll go ahead and do it. And once this gets set up, you can come in here and you can start putting in keywords that people search for. You can start filling it in with images that this list or that Moz Local will syndicate out to other business listings. It's just really neat to use, and I would certainly suggest if you're going to start with one of these local listing aggregator services, start with Moz Local. It's one of the more trusted tools. It's easy to use. It helps you find duplicates, and it helps you take care of those. And of course, the other one to look into is Yext. They're a bit more expensive. Yext does very much the same thing that BrightLocal does. It does does syndicate your business information out to upwards of 200 to 300 different listing directories out there. It's quite a bit. They're a little bit more expensive. They're about $30 per location per month when you very first start with them. So if you're have one location that you're working on, I think that you could probably get away with using BrightLocal or Moz Local and get about the same amount of value out of it for cheaper. However, I see where Yext really shines is if your business has dozens of locations or even hundreds of locations, where going through one by one to update them is just, it's not reasonable, it's not realistic. Then Yext is really good for multi-location franchises or businesses to manage your local listings with. So anyway, yeah, it's a pretty cool tool. It helps you, or Moz Local. I would definitely start with that one there and see what it can do for you. Get into that, play with it, get a bunch of information in there. We have found that using these tools can help you rank your business better in Google Maps and Google My Business. It takes a little bit of time for it to happen, but we have seen that by having a subscription to these services and getting all these local listings updated with correct information, you are going to start seeing a bump in your visibility in Google Maps and possibly even bumps in rankings. But that's in addition to the regular SEO that you should be doing with your business anyway in your online marketing. BrightLocal too. What's really good with the reputation manager right here, that will help you manage your reviews, help you respond to reviews and things like that. So look at these tools, look at all the different ones out there, and depending on what your needs are, you can probably find the tool that's going to work best for you. I mean, Moz Local does a little bit of reputation management. I played around with it. I think BrightLocal's is better. But definitely look into that. I think that if you're doing local SEO, a tool like this is really good to get into. And then finally, what I do want to show you too, of course, Moz.com, their local SEO guides here. I'm here at Arcane Marketing. We're slowly but surely filling up our website and our blog with local SEO information. Make sure to check out our website a lot too. But as of right now, Moz.com has some really good content in here and a lot of really good instructions about how to do local SEO. And I definitely would suggest taking a look at it. I mean, just going into their the basics of local SEO, how to deal with, what local citations are, claiming local listings, getting reviews, responding to reviews. All that's really, really good information that can get you set up for success when doing local SEO. And so my biggest takeaway with a lot of this would be, keeping your business information as consistent as possible. Going back to that Google My Business training, or the one that we did, the Marketing of the Minds, a couple of weeks ago. Get a hold of that Google My Business listing for yourself and fill it out. Utilize the tools that it has, and I think that you'll be good to go as far as getting a good head start on your local SEO. But does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, drop some questions in here below if you have some questions. The other thing, Chad, that I was just going to ask the question maybe in connection with that is local SEO, for those that aren't really in tune with the power of local SEO and what that really does for a business. Give us like a 10-second layman's term version of why people should focus on local SEO. Who is going to most benefit? What types of companies might most benefit from that type of search criterion?
Yeah. So the reason why you want to focus on local SEO is for the simple fact that Google search has a dedicated algorithm for local SEO that's built for local businesses. Mm-hmm. And so they give you additional tools that you can use to help you stand out among your competition, right? And so because of the fact that Google has put in, other search engines have put in this amount of time and energy into promoting local businesses and giving them the tools they need to succeed, it just gives you a bit more control over your search results. And the types of businesses that really benefit from this, of course, are SMBs, small to medium-sized businesses that have a local presence. If you are servicing your local community and people in your community are looking for your services or your products that you're selling directly, like brick and mortar stores, a brick and mortar store that has an address is a local business. Even if they are selling across the country and shipping out, they still have a local address. Any store or business where customers can walk up and walk in and do business with you, you are a local business. Yep. And those are the businesses that benefit the best off of local SEO.
Tell me a little bit more about like restaurants and real estate agents in the realty world.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, that was the real estate agents was really good. But restaurants, absolutely. Even like McDonald's. McDonald's is a worldwide franchise. They're everywhere, but each one of their locations is a brick and mortar location where people can visit. And so local SEO, and especially, using Yext. I mean, if I was McDonald's Corporation, I'd definitely be using Yext to manage all those local listings for the thousands and thousands and thousands of restaurants that they have. So yes, restaurants need to be taking advantage of local SEO. They need to have a good marketing strategy put up so that they can compete in their local markets. But when you get into real estate agents, right? Real estate agents, lawyers, doctors, a lot of times those kinds of businesses actually benefit from local SEO more than a lot of other quote unquote local businesses, because a lot of times real estate agents will work under the banner of a parent company, right? But each one of them, more often than not, they're their own employees, they're their own workers, they're their own agents who have started their own business, but they might work under like Century 21. They get to create their own local listings for themselves using their own name under the banner of the corporation or the company that they work under. So not like if you're a dentist here in Idaho Falls and you have like, Idaho Falls, dentists, then that's your business name, Idaho Falls Dental, whatever. You can have your Idaho Falls Dental, your office has its own listing in Google Maps. And then as a doctor in that business, you can have your own local listing as a doctor. So you get two for the price of one on that, and you get the benefit of it without being in violation of Google's terms of services.
Yeah, that's fascinating. I think too many business owners in today's market, they just don't realize. I think Nate shared this once, or Chad, maybe you could share it again. How many businesses out there have actually claimed their Google My Business listing first, or have even done any sort of local SEO? Do you have any statistics around that?
Last statistic I saw was there's about 40% of businesses, roughly anywhere from 35 to 40% of businesses are actively claimed and being managed in Google Maps,
Mhm.
and about 60% are unclaimed, or they had been previously claimed, but they've fallen out because maybe an owner of the listing no longer has a Google account, or they haven't updated it. Now, periodically, Google My Business sends out emails saying, come in and update your information. They want to make sure that the listings that are in Google Maps are being actively maintained, right? And if it doesn't see a lot of updates, a lot of activity happening, Google's going to reach out and ask you, are you still in charge of this business? Are you still are you still able to make updates to it? And if they don't get response, then they will unverify the listing. The listing will still be in Google Maps, and you can still find them, but it's going to be able to be claimed. And so there's just not enough business owners who have listings in Google Maps are actively taking control of it. And Google's always trying to get feedback and always trying to update their services. And I believe if a lot more people were using it actively and a lot more businesses were, we're going to get better tools and we're going to get better responses from Google and better ways to leverage it. So we're kind of still under the thumb of Google on that. But little by little, people are learning the value of it, and it's going to be up to our marketing agencies such as Arcane Marketing to inform everybody about the importance of it, and of course, offer lend a helping hand on it, just to get things set up for people. We've been doing that quite a bit lately, getting listings re-verified and under people's control. And when we do, we just see people become a lot happier, and they set themselves up to for success a bit better. Nate did answer the BrightLocal is about $29 per month per location, so that's right along online with Yext is. And then of course, so BrightLocal, it's very a la carte. So there's a lot of different options you can play with. I definitely go check that out. But to dip your toes in, try out with Moz Local. If you don't have a lot of money to spend right away, jump on Moz Local. Take advantage of that because it is definitely helpful. And as you're ready to ramp up your marketing efforts, those other two tools are really good.
Fantastic, Chad. Great information, great share from today's Marketing of the Minds podcast. It's good to be with everyone again, recognizing the value of local SEO. And the power of listening to these Marketing the Minds podcasts, my friends, is you get a chance to listen to some of the best tips and training on how to optimize your digital marketing success and or maximize and leverage these innovative marketing solutions so that you can grow your company. So good to be with you as always. Chad, anything else you want to add? What's coming up next?
Yeah, next week. Yep. Next week is going to be the basics of Facebook ads, and I am going to do my best to convince our social media department director, Brennan, to come in here and kind of give you an idea of just kind of the basics of it, just the little nuggets you need to get going on it, to understand what you're looking at. Brennan's been doing some really good social media training for our fulfillment department here. I went to his first training with us last Friday. It was really insightful, and there's a lot of cool information that a lot of us didn't know. So I'm going to invite him onto the podcast next week, and we can pick his brain a little bit and see where that goes.
It was interesting, Chad. We just received an email from one of our clients today that we've been doing some web design with, and she said, I need some help. Said, I tried to run Facebook ads, but it's been a while since I've done it, and I got back in there. I had no idea what I was doing. So it's good. So come join us next week as we dive into one of my passion zones, the art of running ads on Facebook. And we'll dive in a little bit in pretty high level detail, I'm sure, to talk about exactly how do you set up an ad in Facebook? What are the different types of ads? Why would you run certain ads in certain different time periods? And excited for that training. So come back and join us, my friends. Marketing the Minds podcast next Monday from 1:30 till 2 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. And we'll see you then. Bye for now.
Thank you.